Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Joseph Mavericks. I'm a graphic designer by day and a content creator by night. In the past 2 years, I've published over 200 articles, mostly around the topics of productivity, self-improvement, and entrepreneurship. In this video, we're going to be talking about goals. So, goals are far away, right? They don't move, they're standing still on the horizon of possibilities, and the only way to get to them is to start walking the distance and getting to work, basically. But there's always bad days with rain, storms, and nobody likes to walk on those days. Yet, if you don't make progress, it feels like you're wasting time. Not only that, but when you do finally get to your goal, there's a whole new horizon waiting for you with yet another goal standing in the distance. It's like it never stops, right? It's like this endless road of goal after goal if you're even motivated enough to keep walking that road. So with that in mind, one of the first key things I want to talk about when it comes to goals is this: results have nothing to do with goals. They have everything to do with the strategy and the system you put in place to get where you want to be. Here are a few examples to show you what I mean. If you're a writer, your goal might be to have one of your books featured on the New York Times bestseller list or to win a Pulitzer Prize. If you're a runner, your goal might be to finish a marathon under a certain time or to qualify for a specific event. If you're a chef, your goal might be to get your first Michelin star for your restaurant or to get your own cooking show. But realistically, if you keep working at your craft in each of those cases and focus on the long-term progress, you will get results whether you have goals or not. What matters is to put in the work. The rest happens almost automatically. So let's go back to the marathon example. I happen to have trained for a marathon around 2 years ago. I was part of a running club and this girl told me a story about another girl she knew. And the story went like this. One day, that girl went for a 1 kilometer run. It took around 10 minutes, which is pretty slow. The day after that, she went for 2 kilometers. On the third day, she went for 3 kilometers, and she kept increasing the distance by 1 kilometer every single day, taking breaks only on the weekends. She was extremely consistent with her plan until she got to race day, which is 42 kilometers. So, obviously her speed increased as well, but she didn't have a target time anyway, so it didn't matter to her. Her way of training was pretty unusual, but it was her system, and it worked great for her. Now, the question is, would this woman have gotten results running the marathon without the goal of running a marathon? Yes and no, but mostly yes, she would have gotten results. So she did have that goal of running a marathon, and you could argue that she would not have gotten results without that goal because maybe she needed to envision a target in her mind. The goal was the incentive, the thing that kept her going. She needed a focal point to keep going straight, and she did. But you could also argue that she would have definitely gotten results even without the goal because she could have decided to simply start running. Maybe she would have used a different approach, maybe her progress would have been slower, but she would still have gotten results. Her speed would have naturally improved, her posture would have become better, her pace, everything around her running would have become better because she just decided and took that decision to start running. With that in mind, we can conclude that goals are great for motivation and direction, but progress and results are the fuel of every accomplishment. So the second thing I want to talk about when it comes to goals and why they can be an obstacle rather than the way forward is this. A goal is not a unique qualifier. So we just looked at the marathon example. Let's now look at the writing example. If you're a writer, your goal might be to win the Pulitzer Prize. If you don't know what the Pulitzer Prize is, it's a series of annual prizes awarded by Columbia University in New York for outstanding public service and achievement in American journalism, letters, and music. But there's really only one award for music and 20 others for everything around good writing, basically. So it's a really famous award as an author. It's like the Oscars for movies, right? And do you know how many people win the Pulitzer Prize every year? Well, I just told you, right? 20 people win one for written work and 1 person for music. Now, what is the number one common characteristic between the people who won a Pulitzer Prize and the people who didn't? Well, it's that just like in many competitions, they all mostly wanted to win. You have to submit your work to the academy to enter the contest. So it's not like you can randomly win this thing. You don't automatically enter. But only 21 people out of all the contestants will win the prize. So if you ever win the Pulitzer Prize, who knows, that might happen. And when asked what made you win, you answer because I had this goal of winning, you're not answering the question. Everybody else lost and everybody had the same goal, to win. It's true for any competition, whether you write, play basketball, swim. The goal can't be the qualifier because everyone had the same goal of winning. If we really look at what made you successful, it would be your system. Your system was better than the others, and that's what enabled you to win. And that's great for you. Quick note on winning. Apart from a great system, there's always a varying amount of luck involved in winning in life in general. That's a really broad subject for another video. For now, just know that you should never rely on luck or take luck into account in anything you do in life, basically. Also, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and that's a quote from Gary Player, one of the greatest golf players of all time. Moving on. Third and last downside of goals I want to talk about. A goal is temporary, but a system, on the other hand, is continuous. Again, let's just say you win the Pulitzer Prize. If, after winning the prize, you sit back and stop working, you won't make any more progress, and you can be sure you'll never win that thing again. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. Once you reach a goal, you gotta ask yourself what comes next. If you don't have a system in place, a work ethic to create something else to look forward to, you'll go back down the slope of all the progress you made up until now. In order to continuously make progress, to hone your craft, and to not find yourself dumbfounded once you reach a milestone, you need to create a system, and that's something I'll cover in more videos to come. Once that system is in place, you can have fun with it and always put it to use. Otherwise, you'll get a slap in the face when you reach your goal and you have basically nothing else to look forward to. Or, and that's the last point I want to mention, you will have something else to look forward to, but you'll find yourself in a vicious circle where you never have enough. So if your system is just a series of goals put together on an upward slope, once you reach one, you need to find another one, keep going up the success ladder. And that can be pretty boring and or depressing. This strategy of simply going from one goal to the other might work in the beginning, and it can actually be beneficial to create some sort of momentum for yourself. But eventually, you'll find yourself coming up against either one of those two walls. One, you'll be tired of winning all the time. If you crush every single one of your goals, well, congrats. You have a very good system and you're excellent at crushing goals. But is that what life really is all about? Well, no, because you'll come to realize that there's no correlation between your happiness and the number of goals you crush. It never stops. You can always chase more and your happiness doesn't increase anymore. Second wall you might run into, maybe you run out of goals, eventually. So going back to the Pulitzer Prize example, if you win this thing, there's basically nothing else for you to win, at least as another writer. There's nothing higher than a Pulitzer Prize. It's the sports equivalent of winning an Olympic medal. So what do you do after that? Now it actually looks like you're done, but you're still not happy and you want more. So you can go ahead and maybe win another Olympic medal, but then you're gonna face the other wall we just mentioned, which is you're gonna get tired of winning all the time. Winning medal after medal, it gets boring. The answer to the two walls, the two problems we just mentioned, is basically the same. Embrace the system, not the goals. It's about improvement, progress, learning, not about hitting targets all the time. Not only that, but it's extremely unlikely that you will crush every single target without failing once in a while. And that's something else to remember too. It's completely okay to fail. It's boring to win all the time anyway. And you could argue that you learn more from losing than from winning. In fact, let us end this video by quoting the great Michael Jordan, who has this to say about failure. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. And Michael Jordan probably had a few goals throughout his life, but he also failed the hell out of times. And I don't know him personally, but I'm pretty sure he was more focused on his system the whole time, rather than on winning MVP or scoring X amount of dunks or points in his games or career or whatever. His system was excellent. When he came across an obstacle, he remained focused on showing up and putting in the work. He went through 300 lost games, yet he never stopped beating his craft. So, in conclusion, goals are still cool. Don't cross out all your goals just yet. Goals give you direction, a motivation, something to look forward to, but acknowledge that goals are not the end game. If you don't learn to love what you do, to always be willing to improve without expecting to win, you're probably setting yourself up for constant disappointment. So work on your system, hone your craft, embrace failing, and never stop learning. Thanks so much for watching. It means the world to me. Stay tuned for next week's video. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give this video a little thumbs up. Drop a comment if you liked it. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy the journey you're on.